Welcome to this deep dive.
Okay.
And we're going to be exploring something that you deal with every day.
Yeah.
The connection between food and mood.
Food and mood, right.
But here's the twist.
Okay.
We're going beyond just what you eat
Uh-huh.
and diving into the how, the why, and with whom,
Interesting.
based on some fascinating research.
I like it.
You know how everyone says eat your veggies to be happy?
Right?
Well, get ready to go deeper than that.
Okay, I'm ready.
So
Yeah.
what's really intriguing about this research is that it shifts our focus.
Mm.
We're so programmed to think about what we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah.
But this study highlights those often overlooked aspects.
Okay.
The social setting, the memories tied to certain foods.
Uh-huh.
And you know what?
What?
Those might actually hold more sway over your mood than the food itself.
Interesting.
Let's unpack this study.
Okay.
It's titled, Maybe It's Not Just the Food, a food and mood focused group study.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, what else could it be?
Mm.
And one of the big things that jumps out is the impact of social context.
Special context.
The research found that where you eat and who you eat with can have a bigger effect on your mood
Wow.
than what's actually on your plate.
Really?
It's a bit of a surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You think about a healthy salad,
Right?
you assume it'll boost your mood.
Yeah.
But according to this study, if you're eating that salad alone at your desk, it might not have the effect that you'd expect.
Oh.
They shared some very insightful stories
Okay.
from the participants to highlight this.
I'd love to hear about that.
Like Mary, who shared that for her
Okay.
mealtime with family
Yeah.
equals happiness,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of the food.
Interesting.
It's about that feeling of togetherness and routine,
Right.
more than specific ingredients.
I see.
You might find that even a simple meal
Yeah.
becomes more enjoyable
Mm-hmm.
and mood-boosting
Okay.
when shared with others.
So it's not just about what's on your plate. Right.
It's about who you're with.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
It speaks to the power of the family system. Having those anchors in your life can really impact your overall sense of well-being.
Yeah,
And for Mary, mealtime is a big part of that.
makes sense.
And then there's Vicky, who had a completely different experience.
Oh, really?
Even a healthy lunch, if eaten alone at her desk,
Uh-huh.
makes her feel isolated
Oh, no.
and brings her mood down.
That's too bad.
But when she's eating with others,
Okay.
even if the food isn't as healthy,
Mm-hmm.
she feels much better.
Interesting.
It makes you wonder if sometimes
Yeah.
we prioritize convenience
Right.
over connection.
That's something to consider.
It is something to consider,
Yeah.
especially given what we know about the effects of social eating.
Right.
Studies have shown that it triggers the release of oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
It's a hormone linked to feeling connected and happy,
Okay.
which strengthens bonds and contributes to better overall health and happiness. I see.
So Vicky's experience isn't just a personal quirk. It's backed by science.
That's pretty cool.
Now that we've seen how social settings impact our mood,
Right.
let's explore another challenge.
Okay.
Many of us face the time crunch
The time crunch.
and its effect on food choices.
Yeah.
The study also dives into how things like time constraints and budget limitations
Yeah, it's tough.
can affect what we eat,
Right.
and as a result, our mood.
For sure.
It's that age-old dilemma,
What's that?
healthy versus convenient.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone struggles with that.
Many participants in the study talked about how the pressure to get a meal on the table,
Yeah,
especially after a long day,
right.
often leads to less healthy, more convenient options. That makes sense. One participant, Catherine,
Right.
mentioned that she loves making homemade pizza with her family.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But time constraints
Yeah.
often make it impossible. So they end up going for less healthy alternatives. We've all been there.
We have, right.
Yep,
Those nights where takeout just feels inevitable.
for sure.
And then there's Sarah, who has a great strategy to combat this.
I want to hear it.
She doubles her dinner recipes
Okay.
to make sure she has leftovers for lunch the next day.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way she's not faced with making another decision when she's already tired and hungry.
That's really smart.
That's actually brilliant.
I like that.
I'm going to have to try that.
Yeah, you should.
It also ties into the whole idea of decision fatigue,
Decision fatigue.
which the study touches on as well.
Interesting.
Like Mary mentioned,
Okay.
how even after a day of making healthy choices,
Yeah.
by nighttime,
Yeah.
she's more likely to reach for those less healthy snacks.
It happens.
It's like our willpower just wears thin.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a real phenomenon.
Uh-huh.
Decision fatigue depletes our mental energy,
Right.
making us more susceptible to impulsive choices.
Yeah.
And when we're tired, those impulses often lead us
Right.
to the quick and easy, but not so healthy options.
Happens to the best of us.
It's a cycle
I know.
that can be tough to break.
Yeah, it can.
This actually connects to a bigger issue, right?
So, what's that?
Because for some, it's not just about decision fatigue.
Right.
It's about limited access to healthy options in the first place.
That's a really good point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is where the conversation around food insecurity comes in.
Food insecurity.
If you're constantly struggling to put food on the table,
Yeah.
healthy choices often take a back seat.
It's true.
It's a complex issue
For sure.
with real consequences for both physical and mental well-being.
That's important to remember.
This deep dive is really making me think about the many layers
It is layered.
of the food-mood connection.
Yeah, for sure.
And we haven't even gotten to the most surprising part yet.
Oh, really?
The power of food nostalgia.
Interesting.
Yes. The study found that specific foods can trigger strong emotional memories that directly impact our mood.
Really?
It's amazing how a simple taste
Right.
can transport you back
Yeah.
to a specific time and place,
Like a time machine.
flooding you with those associated emotions.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the memories and emotions we associate with certain foods.
Right.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely. It's like our kitchens become these time machines, right?
Yeah.
Transporting us back to those cherished moments through taste and smell.
It's pretty amazing.
It is powerful stuff.
The study highlighted this with several personal stories, like Sarah, who finds solace in eating jam and cream on bread
Okay.
after losing her mother.
Oh, wow.
It was her mother's favorite treat, and for her, it brings back vivid and happy childhood memories.
I see.
It's a poignant example of how food can become a tangible link
Right.
to loved ones who are no longer with us. It's almost like sharing a meal with them again, even if only in memory.
That's beautiful.
Layla echoed this sentiment,
Uh-huh.
sharing that she often seeks out creamy desserts
Okay.
because they remind her of her late mother, too.
Ah.
It's amazing how a specific taste can unlock those feelings of comfort and connection from our past.
It really is. It's a testament to the enduring power of food
Right.
and its ability to transcend time and circumstance.
Exactly.
It's not just sustenance. It's a thread woven through the tapestry of our lives, connecting us to the people and moments that matter most.
Speaking of connections, the study also explored how the act of cooking itself could positively impact mood,
Okay.
particularly when it involves recipes tied to family or cultural traditions. It's like the process of preparing food
Right.
becomes a ritual that nourishes more than just our bodies.
Exactly. Jonas, another participant, talked about how much he loves cooking because it reminds him of time spent with his family overseas. Even though they're not physically present, the act of chopping vegetables, stirring sauces, and following those familiar recipes transports him back to those happy memories.
It really highlights how those small everyday rituals
Right.
can have a profound impact on our well-being
For sure.
in a world that often feels rushed and disconnected.
Yeah.
Taking the time to cook a meal can be a grounding and enriching experience.
Absolutely.
It's about slowing down,
Yeah.
engaging our senses, and connecting with something larger than ourselves,
Right.
whether it's family tradition, cultural heritage, or simply the joy of creating something delicious from scratch.
But as with any deep dive, we can't shy away from the less idyllic aspects.
Sure.
We've touched on time constraints and decision fatigue,
Right.
but the study also sheds light on how financial pressures
Yeah.
and food insecurity can significantly impact both what people eat and how they feel.
It's a huge factor for a lot of people.
Right. Many participants from lower socioeconomic backgrounds shared their struggles to afford fresh, healthy ingredients.
That's tough.
This limited access to nutritious food can create a cycle of stress,
It does.
leading to poor dietary choices that further impact mood.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that our relationship with food isn't solely driven by personal preferences. It's deeply intertwined with social and economic factors as well.
Right.
One participant, Sophie, described feeling constantly overwhelmed,
Oh, no.
trying to juggle work, studies, and family responsibilities.
Yeah.
She often relied on less healthy, convenient options for dinner, simply because of time constraints and budget limitations.
It's understandable.
This resonates with a lot of people, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. A common dilemma faced by many families.
Yeah.
And this is where the study's findings become crucial
Huh.
for policymakers and healthcare professionals.
Uh-huh.
Addressing food insecurity isn't just about providing access to food,
Right.
but about understanding the complex interplay of social, economic, and psychological factors.
That shape our relationship with food and ultimately our mental health.
We've uncovered so many fascinating insights into the hidden factors
Yeah.
influencing our mood at mealtime.
Yeah, we have.
It's almost like a whole new world has opened up,
It is.
making you see food in a different light.
Absolutely.
But how can we apply this knowledge to our own lives?
That's the question, isn't it?
What are some tangible takeaways from all this?
Well, we can start by becoming more mindful of our eating environment.
Okay.
The study emphasizes that paying attention to how and with whom we eat can be just as important as what we eat. It's about creating an experience that nourishes not only our bodies, but also our minds and spirits.
So instead of mindlessly scrolling through our phones during meals,
Right.
maybe we could try putting them away
Mm-hmm.
and engaging in meaningful conversations with the people around us.
I like that.
Or if we're feeling stressed, perhaps step away from our desks
Yeah,
and enjoy lunch in a more social setting.
that's a great idea.
It's about making small adjustments
Right.
that prioritize connection and presence.
Precisely. It's about shifting our perspective
Okay.
from viewing meals as mere fuel stops
Yeah.
to recognizing them as opportunities for connection, relaxation, and enjoyment.
I like that.
And for those of us who resonate with the power of food nostalgia, why not tap into that for a mood boost?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I can already see myself digging out my grandmother's recipe book.
That's nice.
There's something so comforting about revisiting those dishes that evoke happy memories from childhood, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a way to reconnect with those sensory experiences and tap into the positive emotions associated with them.
Yep.
And as we've discussed, those positive emotions can act as a buffer against stress and negativity, helping to regulate our mood and enhance our overall well-being.
But is there a potential downside to relying on food for comfort or emotional regulation?
That's a good question.
While the study highlights the many benefits,
Uh-huh.
I wonder if there's a flip side to this coin. Could there be negative consequences to overusing food as a coping mechanism?
That's very insightful.
Yeah.
While the study doesn't delve deeply into potential negative consequences,
Right.
it's important to acknowledge that using food as a primary coping mechanism for stress or negative emotions can sometimes lead to unhealthy patterns.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
It's about striking that delicate balance, isn't it?
it is.
Enjoying the emotional and social benefits of food
Right.
without over-relying on it to manage our feelings.
Exactly.
It seems like there's a lot more to be explored in this area.
Absolutely. The study highlights the need for more research
Okay.
to understand the long-term effects of different eating behaviors,
Ah.
both positive and negative.
Right.
This deeper understanding will be crucial for developing more effective strategies for improving mental well-being through our relationship with food.
Now that we've explored the psychological and social dimensions of the food-mood connection,
Right.
I'm eager to delve into the science behind it all.
Okay, let's do it.
What's happening in our brains when we experience these shifts in mood
Yeah.
triggered by food?
Uh-huh.
What are the biological mechanisms at play?
That's an excellent segue into the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll unpack the fascinating world of hormones, neurotransmitters, and brain regions
Right.
involved in this intricate dance between food and mood. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. I'm so ready to dive into this science behind these food-mood connections.
Yeah.
We've explored, the personal stories, the broader societal implications.
Right.
But what's actually happening in our brains when we experience these mood shifts related to food?
It's like opening up the hood and seeing the engine run
Right.
when it comes to social eating and that boost we get from sharing a meal with loved ones.
Ah.
One key player is oxytocin.
Oh, right. We touched on oxytocin earlier.
Yeah.
It's that hormone linked to feeling connected and happy.
Right.
So it's like a happy hormone that gets released when we eat with friends.
That's a great way to put it when we engage in social activities.
Okay.
Like sharing a meal.
Yeah.
Our brain releases oxytocin, which promotes feelings of trust, empathy, and connection.
I see.
It's like a biological glue that strengthens our bonds and makes us feel good.
That makes so much sense. It explains why even thinking about gathering with loved ones for a meal
Right.
can make us feel happy, in anticipation.
Yeah.
But what about Jonas, who found joy in cooking
Yeah.
because it reminded him of family,
Right.
even though they weren't physically present.
Uh-huh.
Could oxytocin also be at play there?
That's a fascinating question, and it highlights the complexity of the brain.
Hmm.
It's possible that even the act of cooking, especially when tied to cherished memories and relationships,
Right.
can trigger the release of oxytocin. Our brains are incredibly powerful,
Yeah.
and they can evoke those feelings of connection even in the absence of physical presence.
It's like our brains have a way of recreating those social bonds through food and memories, even when we're alone in the kitchen.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing. But what about food nostalgia? What's going on in our brains when a particular taste triggers a flood of happy memories?
Yeah.
Is there a specific nostalgia center in the brain?
While there isn't one specific nostalgia center, research suggests that experiencing nostalgia activates several brain regions
Mm.
associated with reward, memory, and emotion.
Wow.
These include areas like the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex.
Wow.
When we encounter a taste or smell strongly linked to a positive memory,
Right.
these regions light up, essentially replaying that experience on a neural level.
So it's like our brains are taking a delightful trip down memory lane, prompted by a single bite of food.
Exactly.
That explains why those familiar flavors can be so emotionally powerful.
Mhm.
They're not just stimulating our taste buds.
Right.
They're triggering a whole cascade of neural activity linked to happy memories and emotions.
And this neural activity can have a profound impact on our mood,
Right?
especially when we're feeling down or stressed.
Yeah.
Those positive memories and emotions associated with certain foods can act as a buffer,
Yeah.
helping us regulate our mood and cope with difficult situations.
This is all so fascinating. It really underscores the idea that food is more than just fuel.
Absolutely.
It has this incredible power to influence our brain chemistry, shaping our emotions and behaviors in ways we're just beginning to understand.
And as we learn more about these intricate connections,
Yeah.
we can harness this knowledge to make choices that support both our physical and mental well-being.
Right.
It's about recognizing that food isn't just about calories and nutrients. It's about the experiences and emotions it evokes.
So whether it's connecting with loved ones over a shared meal, finding comfort in a nostalgic dish,
Mm-hmm.
or simply taking the time to savor each bite,
Yeah.
food offers a wealth of opportunities to nourish our lives in profound and unexpected ways.
Beautifully said. And remember, this is just the beginning of our understanding.
Right.
There's still so much we don't know about this complex interplay between food and mood. But by paying attention to our own experiences and staying curious about the science behind them,
Yeah.
we can continue to unlock the amazing power of food to enhance our lives.
What a fantastic deep dive. This has
Oh.
definitely changed the way I think about food and its impact on my mood.
I'm glad.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. And remember,
Yes.
food is more than just fuel. It's a source of connection. Comfort and joy. Go out there and savor every bite.